What's up, guys? Alright, I've had a few requests on how to clean your goggles correctly and to where they don't fog. Sorry about the water. I'm letting it run, letting it warm up. But ultimately, I run revisions, so I'm able to pop my lenses out. I'm pretty sure predominantly most goggles will let you do that. Now, one thing that I tried to explain to him is that grease and stuff like that builds up, so your anti-fog might not get on your goggles. So hopefully you can see that, but there's grit all the way around the goggle, you know, that you can clearly see. And I mean around the edges of it, and then on the lens itself as well. And it builds up on the inside and the outside. So what I tried to explain to him was you put anti-fog on, you touch your goggles, you play with your goggles, dirt gets in there, grit gets in there, your finger grease gets in there, you sweat on them, and then you start to fog again. So you're like, oh, put in more anti-fog. Well, you keep on repeatedly doing that, and then you build up layers of anti-fog and dirt and grease. It's not actually getting on your lens. So I have pure hot water running right now, which actually I'm going to have to, even that out because it's pretty hot. You don't want to burn yourself. Ultimately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what I do to keep my goggles clean. I use cat crap lens cleaner. It's the anti-fog right there. And I clean my lens probably once every 2 months, and I don't fog. I'm not even fogging right now. I'm just cleaning them just to show you guys. I had a few requests. I do run a fan, but I only use that if, I'm dying sweating, just, profusely sweating into my goggles and it's making them fog. But alright. I've got my helmet on just to give you guys a kind of a personal view, I guess you could say. Alright, so, wash them all off. There's water on the front, the back, everything. Now, this is where it gets kind of tricky. Don't touch your goggles with your fingers. Alright, so the entire time, rest of this video, don't touch your goggles. Your fingers, you touch everything with your fingers. You got a lot of grease on there. If you went to high school, they told you that in health class and cooking. That's why you always clean your hands, things like that. Alright. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to use my fingers anyway to apply my cat crap. But I smear it on, and then I'll end up using the rag. But alright, let's take a look at this. So all that grit's gone. There's a lot of stuff that's off of there. You look through it, you can see through it pretty clearly. Obviously, I have scratches on there. I've had these goggles for a year and a half now. So yeah, surprise. There's a scratch on there. Alrighty. So let's lay this down on the, you can grab the edges just like I am, like that, because, you're not actually looking through the edges, through the top and the bottom. Alright. We can turn this off, so then that way it's a little quieter. I like to pretty much dig, well, depending on your anti-fog, pretty much dig my finger in there and get a big goop, and then just smear it on there. On one side, big goop for the other side, and now I gotta use my finger to smear it on. But I have a coating of the actual cat crap on my finger, so then that's good. That'll keep my actual finger from touching the lens, and it'll keep it from building up. Alright, so obviously I put a whole bunch on there, which, you don't really necessarily need to do, but I'm doing it because I'm using a rag to wipe it all off. So, with my anti-fog, of course yours might be different, it says pretty much to wipe on until it's completely gone. So that's exactly what I'm about to do. Alright, remember, do not touch your lens with your fingers, okay? Usually I use a silk rag or something like that, but, any rag will do. Okay, so we put a lot on, and now we just start going back and forth, rubbing it in. And you can see it kind of smears. It's got, a little smear on there. That's when you get a different part of the rag. Okay, starting to clear right up. Okay, and then there you go. It's pretty clear for my left eye, and now pretty much just do the rest of the lens exactly how I just did that. Depending on your anti-fog, if you have liquid, you would do the same thing, put the liquid on there, and then obviously with it you should have gotten like a little silk thing, or not thing, but a little silk rag, cloth, towel, whatever you want to call it, to wipe it into your actual goggle. Let's see. Alright, gonna go ahead and wipe all the edges off, make sure there's no, anti-fog left on there. Okay, let's take a look at it. It looks pretty good. We wrote in a little bit more over here. Nothing's left. Alright. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to do the same thing to the front, but that's pretty much it. And then putting it in, don't touch your lenses as well. The biggest thing is, your fingers are dirty. They're always dirty. Touching your face, touching your clothes, your car, your doors at school, everything like that. Be aware. If you touch your lens with your fingers, you pretty much, messed up your anti-fog. I have a fan. As you can see, the hose comes out right through there. There's a fan up there. I barely even use it. Take good care of your goggles, and that's the best thing that you can do. Hope this video helps. If you guys have any questions, any suggestions, let me hear it. I'm probably just going to turn off this camera and clean the front the exact same way that I just did it. We got a big op coming up this Sunday, Berlin. And looking to have a great weekend. Been looking forward to it for a long time. Since they posted it. Alright, so same thing. If you guys are wondering, cat crap, that's literally the name, cat crap. You can get it on Amazon, I think like $2 or $3 for a little tub of this. And not only myself, multiple teammates each week will ask me to use it. Random people will ask me to use it out of one of these little containers. So it lasts a long time. You don't necessarily need to anti-fog the outside. I do it pretty much just as a cleaning process. It's not like the outside's gonna fog, and if it does, then I honestly have no clue. Buy a better goggle. Or I don't know, I would fog on the outside. And then there we go. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Any questions, let me know. The anti-fog on Amazon, eBay, things like that. And that's pretty much it. There you go. You have your goggle all nice and neat. Thanks for watching.